thinking that I won't react. You whispering my name, thinking I won't be the same. Turn fiction into fact. See what you didn't know, bruises that I'll never show, slipping on your every jab. So tighten up your fist, step into the ring with this. I hope your mama's got your back. First round, you thought you would've knocked me down. Fifth round, bleeding out the side of your mouth. Final round, blowing the sound of my name out. You didn't would've knocked me down. Fifth round, bleeding out the side of your mouth. Final round, blowing the sound of my name in the crowd. You didn't bust. Oh, 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 oh. You didn't bust. Oh, 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 oh. First round, fifth round, final round. First round, fifth round, final round.
Hi, this is Ben. Ben magic, smaller guy next to me. He does magic too. He doesn't talk that much. Anyway, I wanted to welcome you to In Time with Nick. And oh, what's that, Teller? What's that, Teller? What's that? Oh yeah, yeah. Teller wanted to say welcome to In Time too, but his mic is off, like Nick. Love you all. Peace.
Hello, hello. Welcome everyone to Downtime. Commander Macmillan is not with us yet. I'm hoping he's going to join us soon, but he's not here. As you guys know, we have moved locations, and because of that, we're still getting used to how to get the internet solid. It's not as solid as we'd like. Because of that, you guys pointing out when we're getting buffering is actually a genuine help. So normally I'd be like, you know, stop bitching and moaning. We're doing the best we can because I'm a hard ass, as you all know. But seriously, letting me know helps. Everything I've got on this end now says that it should be fixed for now. We don't know. We're still tinkering. Yes, Titans. Sometimes tinkering helps. I'm not going to touch any buttons for the rest of the show because we're like it's working. Now, for those of you who are here and have joined us, we have Commander Macmillan, last time he was here, asked if this was a real set, and those of you who've been here for a while know that it is. It's always been a real set. While we were sort of transitioning, we had to use a green screen, but for the green screen, we just made it obvious it's a green screen. We don't want to, you know. This is so, and everything here has significance. Now, I'm going to say that unfortunately, Commander Macmillan is not here. But I did get him something, and those of you who've been around for a while will understand this. We got him, and this is just going to stay right here, and I'm going to miss the opportunity to show him this. I think it's very important. Many of you will understand the significance of this, and we're just gonna, we're just gonna put this right back here, and we'll make sure that next time he's on, we'll don't anyone give it away. So yeah, there's latency. I do apologize for that. We can let's see if it sticks around much longer. There may be something I can do, but yeah, unfortunately, I think hopefully by tomorrow or the next day we will have it taken care of. But thank you for letting me know. We do understand at least some of the cause of the problem, so we're working on it. At any rate, let's see. Okay, so we talked about the hippo. The hippo is very important, and we did have, we had a really big show a couple days ago, and the numbers tanked as soon as it started to buffer. I do get it. We are working on the problem. I was on Sons of Liberty yesterday. That was a really fun show. That was definitely a downtime kind of show, so we have uploaded that. They've allowed us to upload that to our sister channel, Downtime. The downtimes right now are going to be on the In Time channel just because, that one's not monetized, and it was getting to be kind of annoying. But we put that up there because it was a little rowdier material is there. There's a link to that show. It was really good. We covered a lot of important Trump stuff. They had a lot of really good knowledge about it. It was good to share the knowledge, but they were also just a lot of fun to hang with. So I think anyone here who saw that will tell you that it's a good show to go see. So we got a link to it. You guys go see that. It was a great show. We all got along well, and I think we're going to do more of those. So that's up on the Downtime, our sister channel. And in the meantime, oh wow, there was a bunch of stuff that I wanted to talk to Lance about. As you guys know, we try to make this a bit more of a relaxed show. I've been suffering some losses in my life. He's been suffering some losses in his life. So I thought talking about grief and how to deal with grief would be an interesting subject. Unfortunately, again, he's not here, and I'm probably not going to just opine on it on my own. We were also going to talk news. Since I can do that without him, that I may do. So we'll get into some of the interesting news that we've been seeing today. Trump has floated using the Insurrection Act, which we've been really worried about now, that he would use it only along the border, but the area along the border that he is assuming control of is growing, and growing quite rapidly. I don't think it's going to be a very long time before he just says, well, he's protecting all of the United States. He's had a really pretty significant rebuke, which I would like to talk about. The New York Times covered it. I thought they covered it reasonably well, but all right, and we should be recovering. So I think we hit a very bad spike there. We should be back, and the goal is going to be to get this obviously more stable. We need hardware that we don't have. So we'll get it, and that should fix the problem. As I was saying, there was the federal judge, the New York Times, federal judge strikes down Trump's use of Alien Enemies Act to deport Venezuelans. The other thing we may do is pre-record these, because then we can upload it, and that'll save that. Here's the problem. The internet's just going to give us a hard time today, isn't it? It is not happy with us at all. Yeah, it's going to be a rough night, I think. So, what the New York Times doesn't mention until the very end is that this judge only has jurisdiction over the Southern District of Texas. And while that includes Houston, that includes a few biggies, and Trump's been sending everyone through Texas, it doesn't include anything outside of Texas, and it doesn't include a huge swath of Texas. So, yes, the Alien Enemies Act has been struck down, but only in one district in Texas. Now, that has some, what I'm going to do too? Here you go. I'm going to let us, since Commander is not here, what I think I'm going to do is we'll turn off the fireplace and maybe lower our bandwidth usage just a little bit. Or we can keep on the fireplace and we'll I don't know what to do. See, okay, here's where I start playing with buttons, and Titan is understandably made very nervous about when I play with buttons. I'm going to pause the fireplace just because that will reduce the bandwidth consumption. Believe it or not, it'll help. So, what does this ruling mean? Well, Trump has actually been deporting everybody through the Southern District. So it means if he wants to continue to deport people, he's going to be, thank you for that. If he's going to continue to do it, he's just going to have to go through a different place than the Southern District of Texas. Having said that, the U.S. system is set based on precedent, which means, and here's 𝐒𝐸𝐿 is absolutely correct. Others can reference it. Now, what the judge really did, and it was a complete. All right. Yeah, let's see. Are we connected? I think we're connected. All right. All right. What I've done is I've switched to a different network, one that I think is going to be a little more stable. We'll try that. We actually have multiple networks here. So I have to guess kind of at runtime. I got to pick and choose, and the reason we were down for so long there was because the network switch, boom. There's no other bumbling like, hey, that, for a second I thought that was a compliment, and then, okay, I get it. I'd better talk while the talking's good here, so let me get back to what I was saying about the judge. This was a complete repudiation of the what Trump is doing. Basically, he said there are three sufficient reasons to eliminate what Trump's deporting people based on this act. Three sufficient reasons. First, this act was clearly intended to be used during wartime, and we are not at war. The second reason is because the act clearly was meant to be used on invaders, and these men are not hostile invaders. Even his declaration about them being an international terrorist group, he cannot by fiat just declare them that, and he even just went to the dictionary definition of invaders and said, look, it doesn't take much here to realize that he is stretching the definition well beyond what it was intended to mean, and he's doing so to do an end run around the law. And then he also said that these men were still denied due process. So for all three of those reasons, he struck down the use of that law in southern Texas. Now, other districts can now say, hey, there's precedent here, and this judge has said he can't use this law in this way, so hopefully that will go on. The big question is, what's he going to do? Is he going to continue to deport people using this law, ignoring what this judge has done? He's done that before, but it would be his most brazen so far. This judge has been crystal clear. They will obviously appeal this immediately to the Supreme Court, and I think the Supreme Court's going to have a problem on their hands, because so far they've been giving him just about everything he wants. I think by this point they've figured out that his fascist leanings are increasing. They're not going down, and I think that they don't want to reel him in, because that will highlight their own culpability, both in how he's become immune so far to prosecution, but also in various illegal things that they've done. So, because they on a pretty nice gravy train themselves. So, and Thomas's wife, and have ethics violations out the wazoo. So I think they're going to be in a difficult position. We will see. At any rate, that's the first, and one of the biggest things is the judge, Southern District of Texas. But the judge was also appointed himself by Trump, which is important because it blunts Trump saying, well, this was just this was a judge doing his job. Meanwhile, Apple has said that they are going to gain approximately $1 billion in costs for the June quarter alone. That quarter alone, those costs are going to be directly attributed to the tariffs. Meanwhile, this is, dear Lord, this is, I'm not entirely sure. Wow. Trump, talking about the shrinking economy, has said that it is the fault of Biden. Let's hear now what Trump said when a reporter asked him about the tariffs and the effect that they were having on people. Let's see. Oh, and since I don't want you guys to get an echo, let me do that, and then we should be able to hear this without an echo.
And I told you before, they're having tremendous difficulty because their factories are not doing business. They made $1 trillion with Biden, $1 trillion, even $1.1 trillion with Biden selling us stuff. Much of it we don't need. You know, somebody said, oh, the shelves are going to be open. Well, maybe the children will have $2 instead of $30, you know? And maybe the $2 will cost a couple of bucks more than they would normally. But we're not talking about something that we have to go out of our way. They have ships that much of which we don't need. I told you before, they're having tremendous...
That is Donald Trump empathizing with the American people and the average middle class voter, saying that their children will have to have, instead of $30, only $2, and they'll have to cost a little bit more, and you'll have to just put up with it. This is mind-blowing and just a further reminder of how disconnected Trump and Musk are to the common person. I don't necessarily disagree with him in terms of, you know, we've got some economic problems that he's made a lot worse. We do have a sovereign debt issue, and in order to overcome it, everybody is going to have to help and sacrifice some. But I find it, his sacrifice that he's talking about, who's he talking about who's got $30 going down to $2? Either he's talking about the middle class, in which case he is so out of touch with the middle class that it's insane. And I think that's actually what he's talking about. Or he's talking about the upper class, which probably does have $30. And if he's suggesting that they need to go down to $2, hooray! He finally gets it. We're on the same page. This is the greatest thing he's ever said. I just don't think he meant it that way. That's the only way logically he could have meant it. But I think you and I both know that's not what he was talking about. He's not talking about bringing back, say, the 90% marginal tax rate that we had in the 60s that gave us a huge economic boom. That's really not what he's proposing. If someone from MAGA wants to tell me that I'm being mean and not giving him the benefit of the doubt, you go right ahead. But he's not going to tax the wealthy, and he's made that pretty clear. We also had a discussion on the Doge checks, and yes, Doge did promise roughly $5,000 in checks to every American as a stimulus check. They're going to pay for this with the cuts from the government, which they did in order to lower the deficit. And the idea now is that these checks are going to help people recover from the damage done by the tariffs, which it turns out is hurting the U.S., which I guess nobody predicted. Okay. All of this is going to raise the deficit, which was the whole point of cutting. This is why I like having Commander around, is so that somebody else can just like see the insanity. So before we get to the next story we're going to cover, and it looks like I've also been staying out of the live chat just to kind of reduce let's see what it is that we, Waze came out and said how much they paid in tariffs and shipments. Oh, that's, yep. All right. So we're a little more stable the way we're connected now. I'm going to try to get this done quick. Nick is I'm starting to suspect that this broadcast cat is someone I know. I'm just saying. And not a nice person either, I'm going to suggest. All right. 𝐍𝐤𝐜𝐚𝐬, $20. This space left intentionally orange up for some downtime. 𝐒𝐨𝐿𝐜𝐽𝐜 Ukrainian. Again, thank you very much for your patience with the difficulty, and we have a pretty good idea how we're going to solve it. I know that you're probably getting buffering right now. Yep, we've got a pretty good idea how we're going to solve it, and we've got several options. It's just been a challenge. It's a new location, so but the old set is back, so it's all worth it. We got the lights back on, everything's back. So and I think some of you guys are used to seeing 60 minutes of downtime, and I think people are. It may be that you're going to have to get down to 4 minutes of downtime, and you're going to have to pay a little extra for that 4 minutes. We can do downtime in 4 minutes, but I think Trump is Trump's an idiot. Anyways. That was working way too far for the joke. 𝐍𝐤𝐜𝐚𝐬 also gifted 5 memberships. 𝐍𝐤𝐜𝐚𝐬, as always, a big supporter, and your support is really appreciated. And we will use it to buy hardware that's going to fix this problem. The goat was not. No, the goat is fine. The goat is fine. The goat was not burned down. We hit another lag spike. Apologies for that. I can see now when the spikes are coming in, so I can pause and just wait for everything to come back. I think I was chastising Dick Dawson, as well. He should be chastised for many things, that comment notwithstanding. At any rate, goat is fine, everybody. I don't know why people keep bringing up the goat. The goat's been brought up a lot over the last couple of days. Yeah. There are a lot of pyromaniacs in time travelers seem to be pyromaniacs as well. So time travelers are made up mostly of solipsists and pyromaniacs. I don't know how I got that demographic of YouTube. I'm still very thankful. I love you guys. This is great, but a little less flamage would be nice. All right. So on to the next interesting story. Yeah, LJ. I know you're playing around with sock accounts. Let's see what I'd like to do now. Okay. Let's talk about a few things that the as many of hold on. I got another lag spike here. Are we back? I think, oh, yep, it looks like we're back. Sorry for that spike again. Oh, and I did skip. It looks like the board is planning to replace Elon Musk. They've denied it, but no, it's the Wall Street Journal says that they are planning on replacing Elon Musk. I would. But all that notwithstanding, let's hold on a second. So, Waltz is out as national security advisor. You'd think that after everything that he's done, he would be kicked out of the cabinet, but instead he is being moved. He will be the U.S. ambassador to the UN. Rubio is taking over his job, making Rubio both Secretary of State and National Security Advisor at the same time. I don't think that's wise. This picture is a picture of Waltz yesterday checking his Signal app and looking at a conversation, unaware that a reporter was there taking pictures. I don't know how he was unaware. Reporters are there. Oh, fireplace is back on. That may be, thank you. Help. So this is the national the level of incompetence, but unfortunately this gets actually rather worse. Two things. First of all, now he's been quote fired, really moved to ambassador to the UN so that Marco Rubio can be the one doing stupid things. But we can actually read that. And first of all, when you read it, it says, I've forgotten now what it said, and it's a little small for me to read here. Something along the lines of, it's Vance saying, I'm meeting with my counterpart, and yada, yada, yada. So he was having some kind of meeting and some mission accomplished. Okay, fine. But there's another interesting thing. So the question is, who was Vance meeting with? Because publicly, we don't know. There's another interesting thing. That is not the Signal app. He's not using Signal. And he's got, on there, he's got the defense secretary, he's got the NSA, he's got all the regular cabinet members that were. It's no, it's actually a clone of the Signal app. I think it's called Signal SGP or something like that. I forget what the name is. We may bring it up here in a second. In fact, let me just see if I can. It's not Signal. It looks like Signal, but it is a clone. The clone is made by another company, and what they do is they use the basic same Signal layout and software. It's a bit like a Twitter clone or something like that, but they keep the messages on a third-party server in order to comply, but they keep the messages on a third-party server with the Records Administration Act, Presidential Records Act, which says that all records have to be saved. So they're actually archived to a third party. Who is this third party? So it's TM Signal Android is the actual name of the app. So it's essentially a secondary app that makes the current use of, I guess it may be the current Signal app. So this is, I don't know if this is an add-on or the actual app that they're using, but what this does is, let's see, send logs on. Okay, so this is the Signal capture, TM Signal capture that they're using. The problem is that this organization is based out of, let's see if we can find it there. It is let's see if I can find there. The headquarters for the log is, which while they're that they should be developing the app that's going to be used to log communications between members of the cabinet. They list their address in Israel, a check with, I think actually I've reversed the two, so this, oh nope, that was information of their listing. This is their CEO, vice president, actually, sorry, of corporate strategy. And he was previously in the Israeli Defense Force in military intelligence. So what it appears, as far as I can tell, and if I am mistaken, you can correct me. Let me double check, because what was the name of the app again? They've already confirmed that they are actually using, okay, it's the 𝐒𝐴ZHGNL Android app, which is what is going to put them in compliance with the records laws that say that the administration has to keep all of its records, can't delete them, which is what they've been doing with Signal, is deleting all of these high-level conferences that they've been sharing with reporters. Are we still? Yep, I think we're still good. So let me Discord. Oh, we've dropped out again. And I think we're back. Yep. All right. I think we're back. We're not going to push it any further. We have all of this on our Discord. Come join us on the Discord. You can see it there. We hope to have this solved within the next 24 hours. We've done a couple of streams that went significantly better than this. Obviously, today it's not cooperating. We will get this sorted. So thank you all for your patience. $5.12 from Sinister Porpoise. What did I miss on this week's episode of As Our Democracy Burns? Quite a bit. It's not that it's dial-up, it's Wi-Fi, and it's a shared Wi-Fi. We're working on it. You shouldn't stream on Wi-Fi in general. We're working on a couple of different solutions. Linda S. gifted 10 memberships. Thank you very much for those. We will, yeah. I already tried the hammer, so I hit the Wi-Fi router with the hammer 3 or 4 times. That was the old Wi-Fi that we used to use. We're now on the new Wi-Fi because somebody hit it with a hammer before. So, Porpoise's comment, have you tried installing Linux? Thank you. You're like a broken record with that. All right. As I said, I think there's no way to write. All right, I think we are back from the previous lag spike. As I was saying, because we've moved, we're still working out the kinks from the new location. We'll get it sorted. You've all been very patient. I do really appreciate it. We'll take this as our final chance to get out, but thank you guys very much for continuing to support us. We will see you on the Discord, and thank you again. Talk to you soon.